Hello, my name is Putkonen. Thank you for joining me. Today we'll be talking about spiritual experiences and glimpses. Now, spiritual glimpses and experiences happen either spontaneously, they could just arise, or it could be during a meditation, or somewhat induced by psychedelics. Even a pilgrimage to a holy place could spontaneously bring a ecstatic, spiritual experience. And so these spiritual experiences come and go, various reasons, various causes, but they are essentially temporary. They don't last. Now, this question was kind of provoked and arises from a question I got from our channel member, Ram. Thank you as always for being a fan and supporter of the channel. But he had a few questions, and I figured this video will hopefully cover them all. But one of the questions he had was, why are spiritual experiences and glimpses temporary? Well, they are experiences. All experiences come and go. All experiences are temporary. Enlightenment is not an experience. And so you can't really expect that enlightenment will be a permanent version of a glimpse or spiritual experience. If you're trying to in some way lengthen or make permanent the spiritual experience or glimpse, that's not enlightenment either. A spiritual glimpse and experience is simply that. It's a glimpse or experience. Enlightenment is something else. Enlightenment is a shattering of the illusion of me. And what a glimpse or spiritual experience has is fundamentally the illusion of me remains. The me is still believed. After the glimpse or experience, there's a me that had the experience. There's a me trying to regain or get the experience again, or make it permanent, or whatever. But if anything I noticed, talking with all the people I've talked to over the years, as they talk about their spiritual glimpses and experiences, is the me is still believed. And they're like, well, how am I going to get this back? How can I make this permanent? How does this get me to enlightenment? And all this stuff happens revolving around a me. And so while the experience comes and goes, the fundamental belief in a me remains, and so it's not enlightenment. Now, another question that Ram asks is, what's the relationship between spiritual glimpses and experiences and enlightenment? Well, there's no relation at all. As I said, an experience is just an experience. Enlightenment is not that. Enlightenment is not an experience. And it's not a matter of making the spiritual glimpse or experience permanent, nor is it a matter of accumulating them. It's not like you can spiritually experience or glimpse your way to enlightenment. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't matter how many or few spiritual experiences you've had, you're no closer to enlightenment. It's kind of a harsh truth for some, because some are very, very attached to their experiences, their spiritual experiences and glimpses they've had, and if you tell them you're no closer to enlightenment, sometimes the me rebels. And they're like, well, how could you say that? Of course I'm closer. Well, that's just the me. If anything, that's illustrating my point exactly. The me is as strong as ever. The me has now acquired all these spiritual experiences and glimpses, and now that all has to be let go too, because when the me shatters, this accumulation of these glimpses and experiences and the gains had are all lost. This idea that I've gained all this has to go with the illusion of me. And some people become very attached to the gains they've had, the experiences they've had, and they don't want to realize how unrelated to enlightenment they are. They had no impact whatsoever. There's no relation between spiritual experiences and glimpses and enlightenment. They are two different things. Now, over my years of spiritual searching, about 13 odd years, I've had various spiritual experiences. I've had glimpses of having in a meditation. I remember feeling at one with everything. There was no other. There was nothing separate, except there was fundamentally a me that experienced this. There was a me in there. The me didn't disappear. The me was still part and parcel of it. And so having various experiences of void, of lack of other, feeling at one, all these experiences came and went. But after enlightenment, if anything, you could tell that they were only like seeing one side of things, not understanding the totality. And so after awakening and enlightenment, it's quite clear that these glimpses can just as well be wrong directions, because if the glimpse or experience showed only one aspect of a whole, and you take it for the totality, well, the rest of it could be very, very different. I'm not sure if this makes sense to people, but it can get you in trouble, because if I was attached to this feeling at oneness, thinking, well, this feeling of oneness should be the permanent experience of enlightenment, is always feeling this oneness, then you've painted yourself into a corner, because enlightenment is not a constant experience of anything. All experiences come and go. They arise and fall away. All experiences are temporary. If you're then struggling and straining to try to get a permanent experience of something, you'll never reach your idea of enlightenment, because it's impossible to have a permanent experience of anything. And so this partial glimpse of oneness, or experience of a oneness that I had, yes, did give the idea that there was no separation or otherness, and so there was a bit of truth to it, but it was far from the whole truth, and it was far from seeing through the illusion of me. They're really two different things. And so the things that I glimpsed or experienced in my spiritual path were mostly all for naught. After enlightenment, they did not really prove all that true. Half-truths at best, with a lot of holes and pitfalls that revolved around those glimpses. And so I don't really, advise people to seek and try to get spiritual experiences and glimpses. They really are beside the point. I know a lot of people that approach me and they ask me how to get various experiences. They want instruction on how to get various experiences. And of course I refuse, because I'm not trying to give anybody an experience. That's beside the point. Trying to get a glimpse or spiritual experience, again, will not get you any closer to enlightenment. It's a cool experience, no matter how it could be very profound, even life-changing. But still, the fundamental belief in a me remains. And what I talk about is shattering this illusion of me. If it does not involve shattering this illusion of me, it really is beside the point. It's just further distraction from the point. But I think that's it for today. If you have any questions, please post below. If, like Rom, you'd like to become a channel fan and supporter, you can become a member by following the link that's appearing now. But until next time, thank you much.